morning, everybody. It's 7:04. Here we are. We were talking about the Grimmer getting himself ready for this week's Gophers versus Penn State game. And that is a home game. Am I correct about that? For you Gophers? Is that here?
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun. One more road game for your Minnesota Vikings.
No, we have two.
Well, I mean...
I see. I thought you were talking like overall.
No. Yeah, we go to... we have more than... Yeah, you're right. We go to Chicago this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally get to play home game.
Yeah.
And Chicago almost got Green Bay yesterday, but they did not. All of that's happening right now. So should we do hardcore Vikings?
Hey, I have a quick quarterback update around the NFL.
Mussman's here.
The Giants are benching Daniel Jones.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Duh.
Yep.
It's about time.
Wow.
I know, Aaron. I know.
Who's the backup there?
Is it the Italian dude?
Yes, Luigi.
Oh.
Yep.
How does he sound calling plays?
He are going to do right.
I don't know.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
How many Italians can you name?
Mario, Luigi.
Real, not fictional.
The Italian Stallion.
He's got you there.
Paulie Walnuts. Tony Soprano.
These are all fictional.
The guy named Big P Word, that guy.
Your dad?
My dad. Meadow Soprano.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, good pull.
Tony's son.
Tony's son.
Tony's son, James Soprano.
Jay?
Meadowlark Markin. Soprano.
Meadowlark Markin.
Merkin Soprano. The grandma lady that Hawkwood. Tony Soprano's mom, Hawk, would you?
Well, I mean, I have to. Tony, make me do it.
You don't have to do anything.
And by the way, that one guy, Big P Word, was named after her. Do you know that?
So the entire cast of the Mario Brothers and Sopranos.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Nailed it.
I'm sure there's a lot of Italian Americans listening thrilled. Those are
sorry. Lou Nanny.
Oh, and Lou Nanny. Okay. The face of Italian America. Big P Word. And a couple of plumbers that do mushrooms.
Yep.
Great.
And the guy in The Sopranos that just goes, hey, Tone, hey, Tone, hey, Tone. That guy.
Okay.
I don't know. I went too far. That was stupid.
Yeah, sure was.
By the way, Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito are the backups.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Drew Lock.
Oh, yeah, Drew Lock. Is Drew number 2?
He ain't real good, yeah.
He's the Hawks' dad's favorite player.
Well, and DeVito had that one, half season.
Yeah.
No, he's been on It's
and
Always
he had
Sunny the whole...
Yeah, oh, yeah. He was doing the cash. Yeah.
And then he got a bunch of commercials, too. That guy. That Italian guy.
Yeah, I'm pulling for DeVito.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Thanks to our friends at Carboni's. It's time to talk some Vikings. Let's do this. Ben, go.
And go. Okay, you guys. Yes, we talked about the Vikings being 8-2, but I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt about it. I was like, meh about the win. I know wins are wins, but not every win is a win. Not every win is like a great win.
That
was not a great
sexy
win.
at all.
It's not sexy at all.
No.
And it's multiple weeks, and I think part of it is I'm watching and we are watching the Detroit Lions go out there and handle the business like good teams and great teams are supposed to do against inferior teams.
They put 645 yards on them.
Exactly, Muss.
Good
we have
Lord.
played two inferior teams, and I get it, you guys. I know that you can say like, oh, well, Jacksonville actually has, a pretty good this, and they've got kind of this, and then Tennessee's
Doesn't that feel like every week we keep saying like, oh, this defense actually?
You look at some of these individual parts, like
these defenses.
Sure, yeah, but like we're pretty damn good. We have a lot of parts that are better than their individual parts, and I'm still talking football. And we feel like we pride ourselves on being a good team, a great team, but we don't handle our business like Detroit and some of these other teams handle their business against inferior teams. I'm just waiting for that one win. Maybe it comes this weekend where we just dominate and we tell the whole league, yep, you got to come in with your A game to play us.
All three phases, all
you better
buckle
here, up because
we didn't need 13 penalties to help us win the game.
Yep.
That was the Texans game when we didn't know this was real yet.
Yeah.
Right?
If the Texans game was now, it'd be like, wow, they just dismantled the Houston Texans. But that was what, week 2 or 3?
2, yeah.
That may be the last complete game that we've played.
Yep.
All 4 quarters where it was just like, all right, we really have something here. So I don't know, you guys. I don't want to say that it doesn't feel good to be 8-2, but there are style points, and we have not had style points. And I think from a confidence standpoint and ramping up into December, as we all know, that's the time you have to start peaking. We're not doing it. We're not there.
And this is the quote unquote easy part of the schedule.
And this is the quote unquote easy part of the schedule.
What about defensively, though? Are we there defensively or just not? We're not there defensively either.
I don't think so.
What part are we missing?
Our pass defense. Oof. It has to get buckled down. And I know that one play, and I heard it like, yeah, but one play was 98 yards. Like, yeah, it was. Like, you can't dismiss that.
I said that a lot yesterday.
Sounds right.
It was a third down play up against their own goal line, and they go 98 with one single receiver on the outside. That can't happen. I'm sorry. That's not fluky. That can't happen. 209 yards of their 297 yards happened in the second half when you're supposed to close out games, not keep teams lingering around. And again, 51-yarder to Calvin Ridley got called back because of illegal formation.
Poor 68.
I know. And they had 2 other explosive pass plays in the second half that didn't happen in the first half. So all I'm asking is play consistent. There's no reason why you can't do a little bit of the same thing that you did in the first half, do it in the second half.
How do receivers get behind us? That's the thing that's like, whoa, wait a minute.
I don't know, Muss.
2 really great safeties, make it 3 really when it comes down to it. How are we getting guys behind us?
I don't know.
Here's the other thing, Ben, though, is you look at the next 4 games. At the Bears, Cardinals here, Falcons here, and then the Bears at home. 3 straight home games after the game on Sunday. You don't need your A game to beat those 4 teams. The Falcons may have the worst defense in football. The Cardinals are good, but the Bears are a disaster, might be out of a head coach at least one of the times you play them. You don't need your A game yet, but I do get what you're saying. Come December, you do, but they got a real easy next 4 or 5 games.
So I think that's sort of my frustration with everything is regardless of who you're playing, you should be focusing on finding your A game now. Because you can't get into the game at Seattle. They're going to be a tough out no matter what.
Especially in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't care what happens from now until then. That's going to be a tough out. And then you've got 2 more games until the playoffs. You want to go to Seattle feeling like we have our complete team. We know how to win. We know, regardless of anybody that steps on the field with us, they're going to get a dogfight. And we're going to bring it every single game. We're not going to play down anybody's level. We're not going to do this and that. You have to be so confident at that part of the season. And right now, with the wins that we've had, I don't know how you guys feel. I don't feel super confident that we're going to be a tough out right now.
They barely beat a team that got beat yesterday 50-something to 6.
52-6, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't score an offensive touchdown against that team.
Yes.
Maybe you are right.
But, okay, let's go back to the positives here. I mean, you're 8-2, which is really ridiculous. I had to write it down last night for the post game, or yesterday afternoon for the post game, because I was like, oh, good Lord, we are actually 8-2. And if you go all the way back, you're doing this with a career, basically, backup quarterback who's just been exactly what we have seen here with the Vikings, where he's going to be just absolutely spectacular. And then he's also going to give the ball away. You're doing this with a defense which last year was horrendous. And you got the hand pick and brought some guys in, Van Ginkel and Grenard and Cashman. We're doing all of this where at the beginning of the season, again, we were sitting there going, 6.5 is the number. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're playing on house money here. Let's have some fun with it. You're winning games. It was a 2-score win. Here we go. We're going to go play a team that's absolutely given up with the Bears. Be a tough game, always at Soldier Field. But man, 9-2? Are you nuts?
So here's where I'll push back a little bit, Muss.
I love it.
Is that
I love it when you push back.
The first 4 games, when we walked into the season and we're like, I don't know. We don't know. You know, McCarthy got hurt, and we're going to go with Sam, and everybody's just going to cross their fingers. And, like, I think KOC and his staff are going to work some magic with Sam. This is going to be a destination unlike any other place he's been, and he's going to elevate his game. We were all very optimistic.
Sure.
And then it happened. And then we hit the ground running so fast with our defense, with all the new additions that you talked about. We went from being like, oh, that's a cute football team to like, damn, that's a good-ass football team. Mm-hmm. We're not playing like a good-ass football team right now. So for me personally, it went from like, oh, this is just kind of a fun season. We'll just kind of enjoy every win to like, no, we have a real talented roster with a really talented coaching staff that can actually make some waves in the postseason and win a game or two. And who knows what happens after that. My expectation for this team went from like, oh, this is cute. I think we'll get more than 6.5 wins this year to like, we better win some playoff games. Yeah. My apologies for having high expectations of this team after what they've proven the first 4 games of the season. We're no longer just a cute little story. We are a legit good football team, and we're not playing like a legit good football team for 4 quarters.
Until those back-to-back weeks where we played really good teams and we did not show. And then we're playing teams that we should absolutely decimate.
We should have been throttling these last 2 opponents.
We haven't.
And we haven't.
Yeah, but
is it true, by the way, that if the playoffs started right now, that the Vikings would square off against the Falcons? Is that accurate?
You are correct.
I think that's correct, yeah.
That would be a fun first-round matchup.
Yep.
Taking on Kirko in round 1.
Come on, give us some more positivity, Musk. Come on.
Well, I mean, look at JJ. He passes Torrey Holt.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first 5 years of the season, the NFL history, he has more receiving yards than anybody else, Randy Moss included. That's amazing. Andrew Van Ginkel, ridiculous. 3 TFLs, 2 sacks. I mean, he has just been a monster out there. And he can play anywhere. I mean, there's so many positives. I mean, Harrison Smith, he gets his 36th career pick. And now the Vikings have had a turnover in all 10 games.
Yeah. And to add to it, we stuffed them for 33 yards total rushing on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
With those 10 tackles for loss. So, again,
10 tackles.
That one phase of our defense was incredible.
Yeah.
They were absolutely menacing. But when you got to make some plays on the back end of the defense late in the game, you got to step up and make those plays. That's just the facts.
So our running game was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Our running game wasn't much better.
No.
Had maybe its worst game. They weren't that good.
For most of the game, both the quarterbacks from either team were the rushing leaders.
Yeah.
With attempts and yards.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, I know I don't want to, I'm not trying to make you all upset, but that's a pretty damn good defensive line.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I get it. Look, Giants had a great defensive line. San Francisco has a great defensive line. Houston had a great defensive line. Packers have a good defensive line. Jets, their calling card was their defense this year. Lions got a good. It's like everybody that we played, maybe sans the Jaguars, because their interior defensive line was just cheeks. But
shout out to Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
but everybody like that's. I guess that's my point is that we could say every team is like, well, they have a good defensive line too. Like I know, but we have a pretty good offensive line. Like. We should be imposing our will on them and not just being like, well, they've got a good defensive line.
You got a chance to talk to Dalton Reisner after the game.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
He's great.
You had pointed out maybe that first series, excuse me.
Don't get choked up.
Yeah,
I know. I love Dalton Reisner. He's been on Vikings country.
Tonight.
But no, like maybe the first series a little bit, and even he acknowledged that. But and I think he said it was like maybe 4 or 5 plays that maybe he would like to have back a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, I think everything that happened in the first series, let's just call it first, 10 plays, you got to give him a lot of grace. I mean, like he explained, I think the first time out in the field in a long time. There was no build-up. There was no training camp. There's no getting conditioned. There was no seeing live bullets in practice. It's just like he goes from back injury into this modified in-season practices to full speed reps at a different position that he's never played before. And so he even admitted, he's like, look, my steps were a little off. My timing was off. I overset this and I did this wrong. But, he battled through it. And
backwards.
What's that?
He put his helmet on backwards?
He put his
That's sad.
Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. So to your point, though, like, you got to give him some grace in the first, couple series to get his legit footing. And then after that, he was great. Yeah. He was fantastic.
Well done.
Loved it.
Nailed it.
Here we are, 8-2. Everybody thought we'd be 2-8, including you, Corey. Admit it.
Oh, yeah, pretty close to that.
I thought same. Yeah.
I thought the 6.5 number was going to be pretty close. I think I could have argued it either way, but I thought that was a pretty good guess, 6.5. And now we're already at 8 wins and we have 7 games to go.
Yeah, man.
So, again, if you had the Vikings and the over, talk about not even sweating it.
Oh, yeah, no
when you win the
sweat at all.
first 5 games of the year, not even a sweat.
No.
And look at our guy, KOC. I mean, first year, 13 wins. Now he's look at the percentage for winning.
Yeah, did you see that thing they flashed up on the TV where it was like all the coaches that have been hired? I think it was like the last 4 or 5 years.
No, it was just that year.
Oh, yeah. And
It was
4
just
of them
his
have been
class.
fired?
Like the class of 22, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hired 10 coaches that year. It's something like 3 or 4 are fired, and the 5 or 6 that are remaining, whatever the number works out to be. KOC has the highest winning percentage of the 10 that were hired in. That group does not look good. That was a pretty bad group. But KOC's at the top of the pile by a mile.
Yeah.
Who's second? Is it McDaniel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Miami?
Yep.
Tom Shane.
He was the only one that was even close to KOC.
Right. All right. More of the Power Trip Morning Show with Ben Lieber and Michael J. Mussman. We'll talk more Vikings. Sauce will walk us through sports after this. Power Trip Morning Show. Fan.
This is a day old trio. Closing time.
Instead, it's 1 in the morning.
All right, this is Briggsy with the song Grace. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. A little local music on the Power Trip. Ben Lieber's here. Mike Mussman, a cast of thousands. Here we are. Again, the Vikings do win. Yes, that happened. That's cool. We do have some winter weather headed this way.
Watching a system that's going to be moving through during the early to mid part of the week. Right now, it looks predominantly like to be rain. There could be some wraparound snow showers. The colder air is going to come in kind of after that system moves out. So it looks like mid to late week we'll certainly have temperatures highs in the upper 30s and lows in the 20s. Right now, it's looking like the precip will be done by the time that happens.
So there you go.
The precip.
Little precip. Thank you to Bill Borgoff of the National Weather Service there. And 30s and 20s this week, guys. By Wednesday is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Hey, Mussman.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, not to derail everything.
Yeah, no,
Do
what's
you
up?
remember back in the day when you'd go to Nashville and you'd hear country music and
Oh, yeah.
there'd be
It'd be at lunchtime, and there'd be a guy sitting in just a window and playing. You're like, that's the greatest music I've ever heard.
Yeah, right. And you were like walking down the street, you're like, this is how it felt when Dolly Parton was carting those suckers down the street.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
When she's walking her tatas in the Tootsies.
You know what I mean?
Whoa.
And now it's not like that anymore. What a different place. And I'm not saying, I'm old, so I admit that it's not my cup of tea. Yeah. But I just can't believe how different it is.
It's not honky tonks anymore.
It's definitely not honky tonks.
But I mean, the bars are fun, and it's a lot of, like, I heard Ben talking about how he was doing a dance party at Wallen's. Did you throw a chair off the top?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Is that
You
where-
have to.
is that where you did it?
Oh, that's, yeah.
Oh, that's where
that
you
was
did
the
it?
scene
Well,
of
no,
the
actually,
it wasn't at his own place, I don't believe.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh, no, it was. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused because he also got in a fight with a cop outside of Kid Rock's bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you have to, by the way. That's you.
Yeah,
to
you're
get in.
it's
You have to
mandatory.
fight a cop to get into Kid Rock's bar.
Right.
He's an interesting guy, man.
Oh, which one? Kid Rock?
Or Morgan Wallen.
Oh.
He's also the only white person in history to get in trouble for calling another white person the N-word.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. You're not.
I was like, I don't even think I'm mad, bro. He said it to another white. I guess if white people keep it amongst themselves, it's cool.
Yeah, he's so talented as a songwriter. I mean, amazingly talented. But man, that guy just makes the worst. I mean, he literally is living a country song.
Well, I was going to say, he is the, how.
During COVID, remember he was just like making out with girls at the bar for a college football game that he went to?
Well, how
and
about
it was all on video?
Well, how about the guy, Zach Bryan? He's in a lot of hot water right now, too.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Going against the Grand Boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's think back to our country music heroes. Johnny Cash was he was a mess.
Yeah, well, they were all like renegades, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole point of those guys.
But he did most of that on the road.
Oh, sure.
Who was the guy, Hawk, that wanted a McDonald's cheeseburger and then he shot his bus driver?
That was take this job, ain't so.
Oh, Johnny Paycheck.
Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah, he wanted McDonald's.
Or George Jones, when his wife was like, "No, you're not going back to the bar," and she took his car keys and he drove his John Deere tractor to the bar.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah.
Why not? Well, why not?
He also had his best friend was a duck that nobody else could see that he talked to all the time.
When he would do
that is a true story.
Oh, the duck,
cocaine.
yes.
The duck, yeah.
When he would do cocaine,
Yeah.
So
he was bizarre.
I mean, Morgan Wallen's just trying to live up to his heroes.
Yeah, you know what? They're just trying to make country great again.
That's
right.
Yeah.
They're just going back to the roots. They're going.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a great idea.
I do.
Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah. Live it in your songs. Maybe not so much, in public.
So, anyway, sports.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around Property Preservation.
The Minnesota Timberwolves won 120-117, a buzzer beater three-pointer from Julius Randle with 2.6 seconds left. The Wolves trailed the game for all of about 11 seconds. Randle had 35, Ant had 24. Maxo, your Wolves are 8-6. They battled the 2-12 Raptors on Thursday at 6:30.
Yeah, the way that they've been going, I mean, they've been able to beat teams like the Nuggets, the Kings, and now the Suns last night. And then I'm more worried about the Raptors, the way they've been playing down to these bad teams. But it was a great win yesterday. You said it. They pretty much trailed the entire game, but Julius Randle was absolutely incredible. Probably his best game as a Timberwolf in his thus far early on into his career, man. And it was awesome. I mean, you heard Alan Horton on the call say, "Welcome to Minnesota." What better way to endear yourselves in front of the home fans than to hit a game-winning shot against a really good a team that you faced off in the playoffs last year?
Really good.
Yeah, he agrees. Yeah, and Julius Randle was awesome. And again, when you look at the stat sheet, when the Timberwolves do well, they have 4, 5, 6 guys in double digits. When they share the ball, when the ball is moving, constantly flowing, because they get into these kind of ruts where it's just one guy dribble, and there's 4 other guys just kind of watching them like we're watching them. So when the ball is moving, that's when the Timberwolves are at their best. They still got to figure out where their identity is defensively, because obviously they have a guard problem, giving up 104 points between just 2 players over their last couple of games. So they got to figure that out pretty quickly, because that's something that plagued them last year as well, as we saw against the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. But good win.
Your quick thoughts on the Tyson-Paul fight?
Ass. I mean, literally and figuratively ass.
You got to watch it?
Yeah, I found a bootleg stream that was from some other country. So
of course you did.
They weren't dealing with the Netflix problems. Yeah, legally, a legal bootleg.
I had to move to 5 different TVs to watch that stupid
You're
thing.
so rich.
Why, the stream just wasn't working?
No, yeah, just seeing that swirling.
Sears in 1985?
Yes.
What, 5 different TVs?
Yeah, well, I was out in the garage. I was in the main TV room. I had to go down to the bar.
What I mentioned earlier, Netflix was trying to gaslight us all, like, check your internet connection. Check yours, Netflix, because it's y'all's fault. But yeah, unfortunately, that was the most viewed boxing match in decades by a wide margin.
And the women's fight was way better than any of them.
No,
right?
yeah, those two they went at it before at Madison Square Garden. It was a banger. They did it again, another banger.
Gash she had over her.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
That thing was.
Don't make Hawk feel bad for missing it again.
No more.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
No, it was so. And then the commentators, Rosie Perez, what is she doing there?
She's a huge boxing fan, but that doesn't mean she should be on commentary.
Cedric the Entertainer. I'm like, what are we doing
Rosie
here?
Perez spent half of the Tyson and Jake Paul fight naming foods that start with the letter Q. Paul, your hands up.
Wood Hawk?
100%.
Yeah. You kidding me?
Man.
Ultimate respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. It was a circus, and 65 million people watched it legally, and I bet 65 million people watched it illegally. So Netflix is going to do it all again here soon. But
but will you get fish hooked the second time? I won't. I won't watch it again, even though I have Netflix. Yeah,
see, I would just because
it depends on who it is. Yeah,
well, it's not free. You already paid for it.
Oh,
but I'm not going to watch another one. I'm not going to watch Jake Paul again. There's no way. I watched it because it's Tyson. Tyson was the only reason that I watched.
Yes.
And then, in the second round, his legs just went noodly, and he couldn't move. And I don't want to give Jake Paul any credit at all, but he kind of did Tyson a solid by kind of just pulling off the dogs and let's get to the 8, and then we'll have the decision. I'll just make sure I get enough punches in. But it was bad. It was terrible to watch, especially when you're a Mike Tyson fan from back in the day. You're like, okay, this is going to be sweet. Let's watch Iron Mike, just knock out the guy from the Hangover. And nope, never got to see that.
Yeah, no, he's too old. He was bad 20 years ago when his career ended, and he's obviously not going to get better in his old age, man.
It's so sad. When I hit 58, they bring me back to do one more Vikings football Sunday.
But he got paid 25 mil. What did he get? What did Tyson get paid?
20 million. Yeah,
20 mil.
Yeah.
You do it for 20
what? Well, I wouldn't do it for less than 20 million. What are you talking about?
I'm just glad that it didn't seem like there was a fix in. I really, really thought that there was going to be some sort of agreement of like, hey, let's make it look good. We'll get to 6th or 7th round, and then like one of them would win, or Tyson would get like disqualified with doing something ridiculous, and then be like this big controversy, and then we'd be talking more and more about it. I guess I'm just happy that it was, even though it was a little bit of a pillow fight, it went all 8 rounds and didn't look like it was set up.
That's why I think the fix is in, though, because neither one of them went for the kill shot. So I don't think if somebody got hit cleanly and dropped, I think they would have let that happen. But neither one of them was trying to knock the other one out. They really weren't. So if that's kind of a fix, that's a fix, right? If
maybe
that's
it's more of like a controversial fix.
It's kind of like your theory
nobody took a fall, but it's like a reverse fix, because I think they were basically saying, let's do everything we can to not knock the other one out. Let's not embarrass you because you're my idol. You don't want to embarrass me because I just put you in a position to get you a whole bunch of money. How about let's not take each other's heads off?
I just don't think either of them was capable of it. I think it's like the same thing when you talk about conspiracies, Core. It would take so many people for the fix to be in. Like, so many people would have to have the intimate knowledge that the fix was in, that we would. I mean, I guess it's only been a couple days, so we'd figure it out if it was. But it's way harder to fix a fight than most people think.
Now, what is Netflix going to do when it's the NFL, right? Because they got the holiday games, right? Is that the
Christmas Day?
Christmas, yep.
I mean, who are they going to get as commentators? Because they can't clearly use
Hawk
those.
knows. He has it written down. Hawk, who is it?
Beyonce's going to be the play-by-play person.
Yep.
Nice.
And Simon Le Bon from Duran Duran.
Wow.
My wife will watch that.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Apparently he loves football.
That's neat.
That's enough.
Ian Eagle's going to call one game. Noah Eagle will call the other one.
And Sam the Eagle from the Muppets will also be on the sidelines.
Yep.
Nate Burleson, J.J. Watt, and Greg Olson as analysts.
What? Oh, wow.
Oh.
All right, that's watchable.
Yeah, that's...
What?
People have already posted memes or whatever that the Tecmo Bowl is essentially what it's going to look like.
That's funny.
Or early Madden or like Joe Montana footballs.
That's
what
super
the
funny.
quality will be on Christmas Day. Good luck to Netflix.
I'm just glad we're
That
not
sucked.
No kidding, Hawk.
Why did I watch all of that?
By the way, the Giants
Why?
are benching Daniel Jones, and they are starting Tommy DeVito as quarterback.
DeVito.
The Gophers battle Penn State Saturday at 2:30, pregame at 12:30. Your Gophers are 11.5-point underdogs. The Wild play tomorrow, Zacho, against the Blues in St. Louis, and your Vikings won 23-13. And probably the game that isn't going to get enough attention, the Falcons got destroyed by Denver. Bo Nix threw 4 touchdown passes, 38-6.
Is he figuring it out?
He's good, man.
Has he been getting better?
Yeah. He's figured out so much. People are whispering MVP conversation.
Are you kidding me?
I
He's good,
saw
man.
that
In just the
all
last
over-
2 weeks?
I saw that on X last night. People are like, hey, you got to have him in the
He
conversation.
was 28 of 33 yesterday. Bottle Eyes sucks as a human, but he knows what he's doing. He has this.
That's even worse.
This kid is really good.
So who's in that division with them? Denver, I mean.
Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers.
Raiders, yeah. It's a good division.
Are the Chargers any good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
they're
cool.
good.
Wow, okay, good.
I love
They
watching.
might have the number 1 total defense in the league.
Yeah, they're great.
Really?
Denver does, yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, you're talking-
Chargers.
oh, Chargers.
Yeah.
Denver's defense is pretty
Denver's
good, too.
defense is good, too. And obviously, we know the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and then the Raiders are...
Terrible.
I just love watching Herbert play. I really do. I don't know. I mean, man, he throws such a sweet ball, and he just, handsome man. And
I love
just,
eating sherbet. I really do.
Rosie Perez likes boxing.
Yeah, there you go.
On DraftKings, the offensive rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels, is minus 400, so a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
But now,
can see that.
solidly in second, Bo Nix at plus 300, so 3-1.
I had
Then it
no
drops
idea.
all the way off to Drake May at 25-1. So it's a two-man race between Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix.
It's a very good quarterback draft.
Congratulations. This is Joy Thief, and I'll have another. Hi, it's Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. Mussman, Lieber, Cast of Thousands. Trying to decide if I should do something or not.
Hey, Chris,
Hi.
you want to know when you're old?
Oh, man. I already passed way past that.
So, sick brag, my birthday today.
Ooh, today?
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. I heard Zach's going to be jumping out of a cake. I don't know. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We don't even
Cake's actually going to be
But
jumping out
the
of
one
me.
gift that I wanted was one of those electric leaf blowers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got that last night.
Oh.
What a gift.
To use it on Leafs?
Yeah. When else I use it? I'm not going to
I'll show
pretend
you.
that I'm skydiving or something like that in my room.
That's not somebody.
Things could get zany in the garage sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got to keep that.
Well, it's
But yeah, I was
you're
so
kind of
bummed.
late, though. It should have been an early birthday present.
Well,
Because the leaves are kind of already picked up, right?
Yeah.
No. They're still all around.
Yeah, man.
And with the garage beers, those leaves, they
Oh,
blow
they do
in there.
swirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have that. That's untoward when you have others over for garage beers.
Yeah. Can you speak to what brand you got?
I got a Milwaukee.
Ooh, Milwaukee.
Yeah. 18 volt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So excited. Could not wait to use it last night.
What's worse when people come over? A bunch of leaves in your garage or one ugly window?
Well, as long as Pete sauce isn't over.
You would never have Pete sauce over.
But would Pete Sauce comment on the dirtiness of your windows, though?
Well, as long as he's not crapping in my garage,
Is
it's
he
going to be
bringing
okay.
his family?
Hawk, deep breath. Smash. Hawk, deep breath, buddy.
Hey, hey, Dan,
Oh, yes.
I'm going to do it.
Do
Can
it.
you do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Would you ask your buddy, Chris, to recut this commercial?
Hi, I'm Chris Reeks from Channel.
I thought his name was Chris Reeks.
Play it again.
His name is Chris Reese. Am I correct?
It is Reese.
Best guy ever, right?
Best guy ever. Yes.
Does it not sound?
Hi, I'm Chris Reeks from Channel.
A little bit.
Now that you say that,
Yeah,
yes,
now
it
that you
does.
say
I had to look it up.
Yeah, it's like playing vinyl
Yeah.
backwards, and you go like, I think it says this, and then all of a sudden now it's in your head. Yeah.
Every
Okay,
time
good
it plays,
catch.
I'm like, oh no. And then I was talking to Max. I was like, that's not his name, is it? Can you imagine if your last name is Reeks for real?
Yeah, you'd have to have some sort of stage name.
You gotta
You'd
go
have
back
to-
to Ellis Island.
Yeah,
You gotta redo it.
Yeah, you couldn't even hyphenate that one.
Yeah.
That would not be good.
When I first heard Chris Reeks, I was like, Hawks Farts got sponsored?
Yeah,
Thought he was making fun of me.
All right, that's a studio name for Chris.
Well, your
Hockey, yeah.
co-host is Elizabeth Reeks. Is it not?
Man, you better just you are thin
that's the
ice right
sweetest
now.
human
You
being.
are
I know, I love it.
thin
She's the best.
ice.
Yeah, she's great.
It smells like
Whoa.
cinnamon
Yeah.
and vanilla
Yeah.
and other various candles that my girls get at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Would you like another shovel to keep digging?
No, yeah, just use your leaf blower.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Great catch, though.
Milwaukee.
Thank you.
I
Let
think
him know.
now that we're
Reeks.
talking about it on this show, I think it'll probably get changed.
Yep.
Chris
Yep.
Reeks.
I know.
I mean, sometimes you do.
That's okay, baby.
That's what Max says after the show usually.
He does, yeah. That's because he's got pink eye.
Right. It's not even.
I apologize.
I'm nose blind at this. I'm the Stevie Wonder of noses at this point.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Your truck accessories pro.
Poor Chris Reeks. You know, I mean, sometimes you just hear it differently. Everybody still thinks, there's a lot of people that think my name is Muff, not Muss.
Wow.
Not even kidding. I happens all the time.
I so wish that it was. Just throw your hands up.
And Muff, back to you.
That. No one has ever gone, are you Mike Muff?
I go, oh yeah, I get it a lot. Yeah,
Muffman is great.
Muffman,
That is
yes.
great.
Yeah,
He's a
we'll get
bird.
that.
Yeah, the guy from The
Muff
Simpsons?
Man?
Yeah.
Muff Man.
I'm sitting there on the phone with Netflix trying to figure out what the swirl is, and they're like, sorry, Mr. Muffman.
Oh, my God.
No one has called you that.
I'm not kidding. Why would I bring that up?
I don't know.
Because you want us to start calling you that.
It's the Stay Puft Muff Melon.
Yeah, if you could put the in front of it, that would always be nice.
Lordy. Anyway.
How drunk do you have to be to think that's Muss's name?
Honestly, it happens way more than
Yeah,
you
at
would
all the
think.
Vikings country events, right?
Right. Yeah,
Right. So
yes,
they're
yeah,
point
yeah.
two.
Oh, no, they know Muff.
Oh,
Brilliant.
salute to service, by the way, this week.
Excellent transition.
that's
great
real
transition.
good. That's
Well, you
real
brought up
good.
Vikings country, yeah.
That's real good.
We're doing a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, geez. Where, and where?
Oh, boy. We're coming to most VFWs and American Legions near you. I'll get it here in just a second. But, yeah, your guy, Hall of Famer, is going to be doing most of them with me.
Johnny Rand.
Yeah, Johnny Randall. It's going to be awesome.
Good
yeah,
for
we're going to have a good time. Be great with Miller Lite. You can
He's
win
A+.
Vikings tickets and the whole works.
Awesome.
Like I said, I'll get the dates.
Yeah, you can.
Does he call you Mike Muffman?
He has called me Muff before.
Or is it just Muffy?
Wow.
No,
This show is derailed.
really has. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have a guest in studio on a Monday, and you
Yeah.
guys just go completely
Standard.
off the tracks.
Well, I'm sorry for Mr. Reeks.
Ben, the Vikings won 23-13 over the Tennessee Titans. I don't know. I feel like the first 2 hours of the show, we've all kind of felt the same. That it's like, yeah, we're 8-2, which is awesome, right? That's awesome. That part's fantastic. But a very strange and frustrating win against Jacksonville, and then a very strange and frustrating win against the Tennessee Titans. Again, like even the Jacksonville game, which I believe we were trailing at halftime, correct? Weren't we down at half?
I think you're right. Yes,
feel
yeah,
like we were
because
down at half.
because I remember thinking the second, I'm like, I'm not worried that
Same.
we're going to lose this game. I know that we're going to win this game somehow, some way. But yeah, the only reason I had that feeling is because we were losing.
And even after they had the 98-yard touchdown yesterday, I never felt like the Vikings were going to lose. It was just frustration. Like, why are we not burying this team? Or why can we not crush the red zone the last couple of weeks? Because as KOC has pointed out and all the stats pointed out, if you go back to the Jacksonville game, moving the ball was not a problem, but they just could not put it away in the red zone. And Sam Darnold made some horrific throws in the red zone. But I felt like yesterday was kind of the same way. It's, all right, cool, we're up by a lot, and yeah, we won by 10. Felt like we should have won by 20 plus.
That I agree.
It's that missing kind of feeling of like, yeah, that was cool, but it could have been better.
Yeah. And I don't want to take away from the way Sam played in the first half. I thought he played excellent. I mean, his pocket awareness, the way that he eluded some of the pressure, the way that he just like got outside the pocket and kept his eyes downfield, and then he even had to use his legs at times. I thought he was great. He was doing exactly what you want a quarterback to do whenever they feel like, okay, the throw's not there. We don't want you always making a risky throw. We've seen that the last couple of weeks, and it hasn't worked out in our favor. So, just try to buy some time and make some plays, and he did that. Now, again, what I was talking about in this, earlier in the show. You get to the second half, we had 6 drives, 5 of which end up in a punt. We do the opposite. We're not moving the ball. We didn't move the ball and just falter in the red zone. We just didn't move the ball. And I don't have the answers to all of that. That's a question that they have to answer. But why can't we get this consistent play for 4 quarters?
Do you believe? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Muss.
Do you believe that Ron Johnson is correct?
Yeah, go ahead, Muff.
That Ron Johnson is correct when he says that maybe they should take those scripted plays from the first quarter and then bring them back into the third quarter, because coming into the second half, a lot of times we've had some stalled possessions. I mean, we went 3 and out right away yesterday. Do you believe that would be even a possibility? I don't know.
I mean, I do think that there's a version of that I don't think it's quote unquote scripted where they go to halftime. They go, okay, we're going to write these plays down and we're going to just go, straight down the list. I think what they typically do is some version of that where they say, they're starring or highlighting the plays that work in the first half. I mean, that's what Wes Phillips is probably doing, and KOC's keeping a mental log. They still have to figure out what the defense is going to do then. Like, okay, this is the last 4-game breakdown. This is what we prepare for, but what are they going to show us in the first half? And so it's like, okay, is that all marrying up? Are they playing as much, too high safety zone and all this other stuff? Are they playing a little bit more man? What are they doing to us to affect our game? And so that's when you make the adjustment, say, okay, well, this play worked and this play worked and this play worked. We'll go back to those plays and these game situations. So I think they do a version of that.
Yeah.
I don't think that they have to sit down and let everybody know like they would do on a Saturday night and say, all right, here's our first 15.
Yeah.
They might say, hey, guys, of the first 15, these plays really worked. We're going to go back to those early in the game. So I do think they're already doing that. It's just maybe they're not executing. I don't know. The play calls sometimes are right. I mean, how many times have we seen, not just in our game, but other games, like, oh my God, that guy was wide open. How did he not see him? Well, it's just because of game flow and game situations. Like, so the play call was right. The quarterback or whatever just didn't execute the right play. So you got to figure out in real time, was it the play call that was bad or is it just misexecution?
Why has Jalen Naylor's game been so different when Jordan Addison's on the field? It's night and day, right? He was awesome when Addison was hurt, and
Correct.
he's been pretty bad or inconsistent with Addison back. Is it just the role?
It might just be a mental preparation thing. And he dropped that one touchdown. That was a great throw.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was a great throw, right?
In the bread basket.
Right in
That was
the bread
an
basket.
excellent throw.
That could have been a situation where, I mean, I don't want to make anything too big of it, but if, Jordan was on the sideline, he was dealing with cramps or whatever. So maybe he just like being thrown in there in that situation and maybe having to run and play a position that he didn't practice all week long, because we find out that these receivers, they have to play every single position. They have to know all the, X, Y, and W and all this other stuff. So maybe he just was in his own head because he wasn't expected to be in that position at that particular play. I don't know. Bottom line is that's an easy catch.
Yeah.
A little bit of
key
traffic
drops.
Yeah.
In the last couple of games.
And when he was killing it, those first handful of games, we're like, great, when Addison comes back, we have a legit number 3 wide receiver.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if anybody feels that confident that he is a number 3.
Yeah, it
But
does.
We got a long way to go. We'll see.
Yeah, and it certainly
out in the next
changes
7.
things when he goes from number 2 guy to number 3 guy, because now he's running different routes.
Right.
And those all take more reps and all this other stuff. So you're right. You might be onto something. I guess I haven't, really broken down his film, with Addison or without Addison.
If he catches those 2 that we were just talking about, then would you call him speedy?
No.
No.
No, now it's just
It's a strong
out of
stance.
spite. I'm just being stubborn.
If you were driving down 169 in the fast lane doing about 72 and he ran by you on foot, would you call him speedy?
Good question. I mean, you have to think about it.
If my cousin ran all the way to Mexico.
Right.
La cucaracha.
No, unless I'm Slowpoke Rodriguez, I'm not calling anybody that I know speedy.
Okay. All right. Well, agree to disagree. Hey, Ben.
Unless Sauce can somehow find a way to run like a 4.40, then I'd be like, God, Paul's speedy. And then we'll start
Like
calling.
4 minutes?
No, 4.4 seconds.
Oh.
Then I'd say, look at Speedy over there. And then it would stick.
No. If Paul was involved in the 4.40, I'd just think he had a stutter. Hey,
or stepped on a scale.
Oh, poor scale.
Poor Sauce. He didn't say a word.
A 4.40 is 4,440 pounds.
I'm 2 tons.
And then some.
What is that the nickname you want? You want to be called 2 tons?
2 tons of fun. Here we go.
Or Speedy, your choice. Speedy. Okay. Oh, really?
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
Speedy Lambert.
I'm sorry if you were. I have a whole situation going on with Abba Dabba. Her car was parked outside of her apartment on Friday night, and a drunk driver just demolished it.
No.
Wow. Yeah. Luckily, she wasn't in. Obviously, she was in her apartment, but a guy just out of nowhere clobbered it. But so I wasn't listening to the very beginning of Vikings news. Overall, if you looked at the numbers from yesterday's game, you'd say Darnold had a damn fine game.
Yeah, he did.
Do you feel that way watching it?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a tale of two halves, it seems like, right? I mean, the first half, super, super efficient. And like I was saying earlier, like really did a great job using his legs and getting out of trouble and extending plays and all that stuff. It's hard to tell on, some of the plays, without watching the game back in the second half. Again, the quarterback, he takes so much credit. Sometimes it's warranted. Sometimes it's not. And whatever, they get blamed, they get, applauded and all this other stuff. But, again, when we fail to move the balls efficiently in this game in the second half versus what we did against Jacksonville, I it's hard to say, like, was it all on him? Is it other players? Is it just this or that? But again, 6 drives and 5 punts. And so that is just not overall efficiency. So it's, I kind of wish that, he played the way that he did in the first half and the second half. And I don't think we'd be talking about 5 of 6 drives ending in punts. But overall, I mean, we got to be really happy with the way that he was seeing the field. There was no careless interception. There was no, this last couple of weeks, he's had 1 or 2 interceptions. Like, well, what are you doing? What do you look? How do you not see that one guy there? He didn't have that yesterday.
Nope.
So, look at the positive side to his play. The way that he can bounce back from the last couple of weeks, where I think maybe some other quarterbacks would start to question, like, oh, I got to question this read, I got to question this release, and whatever. He's not doing that. He's still just throwing the football the way that he has been all season long, and that is a huge positive. I think from a mental side, that he's not getting down on himself. He's still staying confident that he's out there ripping it, and he was doing that as much as he could yesterday.
We'll go through Fan 5 in a second. We'll get to headlines in the 8 o'clock hour. Muss is here. Ben Lieber is here. It's the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna make
Chris Ganton, Into the Blue.
tonight, if I'll ever make it home.